Hey, Baruch Halevi B here from Defiant Spirit. Thanks for tuning in. In this short video, I just want to tell you about a podcast that just dropped that I created about loneliness. I counsel people, coach people all day, every day. And though I'm a logotherapist, meaning-centered psychotherapy for people, but my area of passion and really purpose in this next phase of my life is for men. One of the reasons why is because although everybody is lonely, I see loneliness as an epidemic with the men that I know, that I love, that I guide. In this chair behind me, I sit in one and he sits in another, or do it by the phone or on Zoom. All day, every day, I'm talking to guys who are profoundly lonely. One of the reasons why I say guys is because the women that I know, even the ones that I counsel, are far more inclined to share with other women what they're going through, to share with their friends what's really going on underneath the surface. Do you know how many guys I sit with and they're struggling with what I call the dark D's: divorce, depression, disease, um, loss of a loved one to death. I mean, there's so many things that don't start with D, and yet they don't tell their friends. They go golfing with these guys, spending hours on the course. They don't know. They play poker with them. They don't know. They have buddies from college and high school, 25, 30, 50 years later. They don't know. They don't share. There's 1,000 reasons why, and I'm happy to do 1,000 videos on it. But the bottom line is they don't. And the places that they used to go to, like their fathers and grandfathers, they're not relevant anymore. They don't speak to them like they once used to. Churches and synagogues and fraternal organizations. Where do these guys go? They don't. They simply don't share the truth. Now, they share bits and pieces and versions and variations, but that's how you end up lonely, by compartmentalizing your life, compartmentalizing yourself. That is a surefire way to live a life of loneliness. When who you are on the outside is not the same as who you are on the inside, or who you are in your job is not the same as who you are when you go home. If you don't learn how to take down those walls that keep you in those compartments, you will end up fractured, fragmented, and yes, lonely. So it's one of the reasons why I'm so focused right now on building men's group. I call it Man Uprising. It's for men rising up in the second half of their life, and doing men's counseling, man uprising counseling or coaching, working with these guys to talk about what's underneath the surface. Men also are very different than women in that studies have shown when women go out with other women, they invariably sit across from one another. They talk to each other directly. They look at each other over coffee or food, or just they don't even need anything to bond over. They just talk. Men have to walk side by side on a golf course or out hunting, or they sit side by side watching the TV, basketball or going to a football game. It's invariably not facing each other, but it's also around what a teacher of mine, Parker Palmer, calls a third thing. Third thing can be the poker game. It can be the golf outing. It can be the baseball, whatever it is. They place their attention on a third thing, and then they start talking to each other using that third thing. So men don't connect as directly, and they don't connect as readily as women. It's just, I don't know if it's a fact. I just know it to be true. I know it's true in my life. I know it's true in the lives of those who I guide. And I know it's true if you're a man, or if a man is in your life, a son, a father, a husband, it's true to him. And we must deal with this loneliness, because loneliness is the single most destructive element in our world, in our society, and it's not new. It's why in the Bible it says, in describing Adam, who's alone in the garden, lo tov heodot adam levado. It is destructive for a man to be lonely. When men are lonely, bad things happen out in the world, or within his world, or within his life. And so destructivity, is that a word? Destruction is something we must stand guard against. We must address head on, and we must remedy. So I did a podcast on this. I'm going to be doing a lot more on this. Again, it's called Man Uprising. If you're interested, shoot me an email, letter B, at defiantspirit.org. I haven't launched the site yet, but I'm certainly happy to tell you more about it. If you're interested in both coaching or counseling, around Man Uprising. And if you're interested in a group, small group of other men that we're doing here in Denver, Colorado, but we're also going to be doing virtually. If you're interested in that, shoot me an email. Love to hear from you. Or just jump over to defiantspirit.org, where you can learn more about this and much, much more. Until the next video, next time we talk, defy your number, live your spirit.